G'day guys, here we are doing a bit of gold smelting. A lot of people have not seen what goes on. Sorry about the camera work. What goes on with gold. So what we've got here, let's go down here, we've got a bit of specimen gold, a few dirty nuggets in here. Lovely little find of a friend of ours, and yeehaw. But it's no good to them like that. It's not really saleable. What they want is that, you know, they want a blob so they can sell it. While that piece there is quite pretty in a way, very hard to sell. Okay, so we're going to crush it up. Simple as that. And you know, we don't use any, we're out in the bush, so we don't use any fancy methods. We don't even use any machinery, although we are looking at buying a crusher for our mine because we've got lots of rocks, big rocks to crush. But simple as this, you know, we start with a bit like that. Would you just take that and film me for a sec, mate? A bit like that. Right. Straight in the pot. And I put my hand over it because you don't want it to go anywhere. Right. Always wear glasses when you do this. Quartz is like glass. Comes flying back out at you. And the best thing to actually do is tie a rag around here. So as you go down, it fills that pot up, stops anything potentially coming out. So, and this isn't done, but by a long shot. Right. But in the gist of it, that's it. I don't know where my screen is.
You might have.
So we'll crush this right down fine, very fine. You'll see, and we'll put it through a series of screens like that. Okay. Come out in the sun, man.
Yeah. You're gonna have to get Kathy to do this. I shake.
That's okay.
Shake shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
We'll crush it all up, and we'll show you the next step when we're panning. All right. That's it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get Kathy.
Sure. All right. So old mate's been crushing away here, and what we do is we get it into a couple of different grades. So that's gone through that sieve, and what you end up is there's heaps of gold in there. If you see, you end up with a lot of thickest, you know, how do I put this without waffling? We want everything the same grade, so, you know, fine material is what we want, and we'll go finer than this, okay? But through that sieve, that's what that gives us, and then that goes back into the pot. But when you get this sort of stuff, it's worthwhile to get the wife or someone with patience to sit here and pick it out, because they're all just, can I just stop getting in the light for a sec? Sorry, Dale. They're just flaky bits of gold. And if we put that back in the dolly pot, we're going to just crush more quartz through them. So we pick them out, and then we've got a coarse lot there, and we just keep throwing that back into the dolly pot until it comes out like that. Okay, and then we'll screen that off and we'll do it even again. All right, just showing you the process. Right, so we're still going. Here we go. We've got a little bit of a preparation set up. So we've got this. We couldn't find our real fine sieve, but we keep bashing this stuff until it's like powder. Okay, that's as fine as we can bash it at the moment, and it keeps going back into that dolly pot until it comes out like that. We have got one pan that's a little bit less fine, and we'll do that separately, because the whole idea is to have the same grade in there. You know what I mean? In other words, the same size material all the way through. So this is a bit more coarse. And just here is a nice little pile of nuggets. They look dirty, and that may not look like nuggets, some of them, but trust me, they're all nuggets. That with the fine gold, when you hit them with the dolly, when you hit them with that, they turn into these little flat plates. So you pick them out. As long as it's mostly gold, that will melt fine, and that is mostly gold. Okay, you can see clearly now that's nearly all gold, right? So that will melt fine just in the pot as it is. So we don't touch that one again. If we try and crush that anymore, we're just going to put shit into it. So, yep. Right, so sorry if that skipped. Rinse aid's the best stuff because this can be a bit too much. Don't put too much in, but a little bit of this in your water, okay? That breaks the surface tension, stops your fine gold from floating away. Okay, otherwise your fine gold will float off. And that's a method to recovering super fine gold, is to float your gold off first. But we're not doing that. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick pan here. Alright. Just going to do that little amount for them, right? Nice and quickly. Okay. So, probably should do this in the sun, eh? Can you just move that goldfish, please? Right. I like to be in the shade, but I like to have the edge of my pan in the sun so I can see gold rolling out. So first things first, when you get good ore and you crush it up, you often get all these like sulfides and shit. As soon as you do it, it turns like clay. Just something I've noticed. I did a little video on this a while back, but we want to get that really well mixed in. Keep squeezing it all with your fingers till it's all fluid. Right, then I've got a bit of a method, and it takes up a few containers, but water is a premium out here, so I don't like to contaminate my water. Right. That's just muddy water, okay? We don't need that, there's nothing in it. So this is how I work, just saves water out in the bush. Right, every time I contaminate that, I'll make things worse. Okay, so all we're doing is just washing the dirt off, yeah? That's it. Yep. Until that becomes clean. Right, until that water starts to run clean. You already see gold in the bottom. Okay, give it a good shake. Don't, you know, without going out. Don't. Gold is heavy. Don't be scared of it. It'll settle. Trust me. It'll be at the bottom there. See? Okay, it's not going to come out of your pan. Right. Okay, it's going to stay there as long as you just don't wash it out fast. So now the goal is we just want to settle that all to the bottom of the pan. I'm not going to go too much into this because you've probably seen a million panning videos. Watch them. There's heaps of ones in America that are really good because they do lots of panning. Right. Slowly increase your angle, shuffling it all down. Again, you can be quite rough, and then the gold's all going to be there and at the bottom. So instead of starting to form here, yeah? So we wash from the front section out, yeah? All that's light stuff, don't got to worry about it. Okay, as long as you're not washing back here. Okay, then bring it all back down again. Make sure you get it all off the riffles. See how it's sitting in the riffles? Okay, so you want to wash all that back into the pan like so. Right, that's important. Then, you know, she's all just sitting there. She'll all sit in that bottom lip of the pan. So don't be scared, but don't rush it. And you can do this first part quite quickly, okay? So I like to actually keep my pan in the water for this part, mostly. And you can even do these light walkings, as long as you're not washing back here too much. Does that make sense? Mm. Right. Then just bring it all back down. Okay. Same deal, get it all to settle. Give it a tap if you want. Just let it fall. Let it fall out naturally. All that's just sludge that's going out. Don't panic. Okay. Get rid of all that stuff at the front. Okay, now we can start to see some sparkles in there. We bring it back. So we're getting down to the heavier materials now. And the gold. Okay. Same deal, keep bringing it all back down, flat in the pan. Slowly angle your pan. And then you can actually just walk it out a little bit like that, see? when you get down to this stage. A couple of them and a couple of walks. Being careful to watch the sides. You see it start to run down the sides, you stop. Okay. Now there will be a tiny little bit of gold in there, not much, but that's why we're doing it into here. We'll catch all this again and we'll pan it all off in one last hit. Right now, because I've had a bit of practice at this, and I'm going to speed it up, I'm going to go away from the riffles now, okay, because I want things to move a bit quicker for me. You can still see fine gold in there, eh? Right, and this is the hard part to separate. This is the really hard part to separate. Right, and you are going to lose some. Right. And then this is kind of what I do. I have a whole bunch of these pans going, and this is what I'll do. Okay, I'll just separate it roughly, but quickly. Okay, now we're getting down to just the heavies. Just the black sands, you might call them, or magnetites, hematites, iron. Okay, so at this point we've got to be a bit careful. Alright, but same deal. You can just walk all that light stuff out, and the gold just sort of sits there and hangs up, eh? Alright, do that a couple more times, and I'll show you a little trick. Okay, just let them roll out. Alright, so when you get to about there, hopefully this won't make a liar of me, but there's two ways. You can start to tail up just like this. Simple as that. And it's not hard, but it takes a bit of muscle movement to get the feel of it, right? And that's a whopping tail. I mean, for shit's sake, if you were doing this as a sampling thing, you would be going, fucking Eureka, honey, buy a yacht, we're retiring. But look, how quickly we can separate all this. Bit more water. Now you saw how hard that was to separate in the pan, yeah? That's why this little method, and you'll see, I'll show you. See, look, it's all in there again. It's very hard to separate by panning. But you start by just tipping most of your water out. This takes a bit of practice even to get the water, and then just you let it fall with a bit of a shake. Alright, and you'll get that tail up. Now you can exaggerate this by doing this. The light's going to get it. You tap that and lift up and rotate the pan at the same time. It's a bit tricky, but watch, hopefully. Just separated all that stuff out, and this works much better with a bigger pan. These pans are a bit small for this, but look at that. I've just separated most of that dirt out. Just wash that away. There it is. That's separated. Sit there, try and wash that out, you won't get it, eh? It's just too hard. So now we just suck it up, you know, or we can go the reverse. We just suck that up, you know what I mean, and put that in the pot. So again, you know, I'll mix that back together. You know, there it is. Wow. Right, it's impossible to pan that. Okay, so just a light, little bit of water, a light tap, starting with it down, and lift, and lift, and lift. There's all your dirt separated. Okay, so we'll hold it there. These guys are going to finish off. They're going to have a lot more gold than this. Just a few little tricks, and then we're going to show you the next stage of drying it off and melting some gold. Go for it, guys. So we're at the next stage. We've just done our crushing and panning, and we've got a nice good concentrate of lovely looking gold. Almost all gold in there now, but it's full of water still from our panning, a little bit of dirt, but not much. So this is the next step. It's simple, but got to roast it. So was that. It shouldn't take too long. Look at that. Lovely gold. Very fine though. Took a bit of panning. Anyhow, we can see that steam coming off it. It's drying out. And I'd like to just grab something like a fork. Got to stir your food when you're cooking it, eh? Oh, it's getting hot. So that's now turning into a powder. Yeah. Honey, yeah. Can you give me a hand, please? Yeah. Just trying to film this. Can you get a piece of paper? So here we go. Any good cook knows you've got to stir your food when it's cooking, otherwise it'll burn. No, we're not going to burn it, but we do want to break up this. There's a little bit of tiny dust, dirt in there. And, we want all the moisture gone. So I just like to break all that up. Yeah, if you could just hold that for me, hon. You can see the moisture in there when I stir it because it goes a different colour. That's a go, give it a shake.
It's not my first rodeo.
See the moisture, sorry?
It's not my first rodeo.
No, it's not. Still see a bit of moisture and dirt in there. Alright, give that a good shake, hun. I'm getting close. It's hard to get this light right. It looks like sand in the camera, but trust me, it's all gold. All 90% of it. Actually about 97.5% of that's gold. Geez, the light doesn't do very good justice, does it? Is it looking dry to you?
Yeah, it's looking dry.
Okay, so we'll turn the heat off. Get the A4 piece of paper, please.
Oh, you want A4?
Just don't muck around with gold. So there it is. We've got a. Just gonna get rid of that. We have a nice pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. There she is. Can't hang that. Put on the flat down. That's it. Right. This is how we do it. Okay, that pan's hot, so I'm not going to touch it. There's a little bit of fine stuff in there, but oh, that's hot. There it is. Nice pile of gold ready for roasting. Okay, that's a bit better. You can sort of see that it's pretty well gold. Anyway, next part coming up into the furnace. A pile of gold there. There's the nuggets that have come out of it as well, so there's two nice piles there. Okay, some lovely gold. Anyway, without mucking around, so we're just going to go in. Oh, I've probably got one there, but just borax, nothing flash. You can add different fluxes and stuff to gold. You know, this isn't going to purify anything. It might oxidize a bit of the iron. That's about it, but we're not refiners. If you think you're refining your gold, that's a highly technical process. All we're doing is cleaning it, removing the rock. So I'll go in with a couple of spoons of borax, okay, in the bottom of the crucible. This is the way I do it. Everyone has their own way, maybe. Okay. Would you just hold that nice and firm so it doesn't tip over? Okay, so there's our gold. It's always a bit nerve-wracking doing this, but there we go. And she goes, Mama Bear. Okay, and then I'm just going to do this the same way.
Have you weighed that, Glenn?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't actually got a complete weight.
Just hold on to you.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's just say there's a few ounces in here, okay guys?
Yeah, there was 2 ounces in
Yeah.
that lot, approximately.
Okay. Right. And then I just like to myself top it off with another little spoon of borax on top. Okay. That's it. She's charged, ready to go. So we'll go put that in the furnace and then we'll show you the next part. We are, we're melting it down. It's our little crucible. I put that on there just to heat it up a bit. Same thing as I got the tongs heating up a bit. And a quick look in. Quick look in. Can't see much, but that's it. I'm going to just see if it's hot enough. I don't know. Come around this side, hun. Over there, probably. A little bit cold. And see if I go right round that way all that flux drips back into there. Alright, see how I went right round the same way, otherwise it runs down your crucible. So that way all the flux just drips back in. Okay, and it's just flux, there's nothing in it. That's going to take some time to cool. I'll throw that one in next. That's just a bit of junk of mine that I didn't quite get melted. I didn't get it hot enough like this to form a button. You can probably just stop filming that, hun.
Yep.
Now, she got stuck in the crucible. That'll all come off, but there's our button. It's just a bit of borax. Can you see that, honey?
Yep.
Stuck to it. Bit of a wire brush and clean up, but it's a lovely few ounces. Beautiful little bar. Shall we put on the scales?
I reckon. I'm saying
Pause that, hun.
89 grams.
Nearly 3 ounces.
Wow. That's amazing.
Hey?
Yes. Wow.
Well done, guys. You know, they listened to us on our camps and they went off.
Yeah.
And they have been everywhere working hard. We've seen where they've been. We've been following their tracks, don't you worry.
Yeah.
Well done. 3 ounces, beautiful.
That is excellent.
Leonora gold. Absolutely stunner.
That's another.
Lovely.